Imagine a life where your success doesn't just add up, it multiplies. What if you could leap from where you are now to levels of achievement so high they seem impossible? And what if you could do it not by working harder, but by working differently? Welcome to You² by Pritchett, a tiny book with explosive power. In the next few minutes, we'll uncover how to make a quantum leap in your performance, your mindset, and your life. This isn't about incremental growth. This is about exponential breakthroughs. Get ready to break the rules, defy conventional wisdom, and unlock the extraordinary potential already within you. This is the roadmap to becoming You². 1. The promise. Right now, you have the capacity to make an exponential leap in your life, in your career, relationships, health, and personal effectiveness. The promise of You² is profound. You don't need to settle for slow, linear growth. You are capable of moving into an entirely different dimension of success. This isn't just about doing more. It's about doing things differently. You can break through the invisible barriers that have held you back and enter a realm where progress is rapid and the results are astonishing. You've been underestimating what you can achieve. Pritchett argues that we often use only a sliver of our true potential. You've barely scratched the surface of what you can do. This chapter challenges you to believe that your breakthrough moment is possible now, not someday in the distant future. You don't have to accept the present limits. A dramatic shift can occur if you're willing to change the way you think and act. 2. Quantum leaps. A quantum leap, in physics, is a sudden jump from one state to another without traveling through the steps in between. It defies logic, skips linear progression, and seems to break all the rules of cause and effect. In life, the same phenomenon is possible. Instead of climbing the ladder one rung at a time, you can leap several levels in a single bound. Pritchett wants us to challenge the traditional model of slow, methodical advancement. Quantum leaps are often unexpected and seem effortless after they occur, yet they bring about stunning improvements. They are powerful, unpredictable shifts that come from thinking big, acting boldly, and trusting the process. You don't need to understand every step ahead. You just need to accept that exponential growth is possible and believe that you're ready for it. 3. You². This chapter introduces the title concept, You². It's not just about being a better version of yourself. It's about becoming exponentially more effective. Think multiplication, not addition. This principle calls for a major mindset shift. Instead of moving from point A to point B in a linear fashion, you can jump from A to Z. This leap doesn't require working longer hours, sacrificing sleep, or pushing yourself to exhaustion. In fact, the leap might require less effort than your current path because it relies on precision, timing, insight, and a new way of thinking. You² is about embracing boldness, disrupting your routines, and setting your sights on extraordinary goals. It's about understanding that the next big move won't come from more effort, but from a different kind of effort. 4. Change your personal rules for success. We all operate by a set of internal rules, beliefs about what works and what doesn't, what's possible and what's not. These personal rules are built from our experiences, habits, and interpretations of the world. But often, these rules become outdated. What once helped us succeed might now be holding us back. Pritchett challenges you to abandon those rigid frameworks. If you want exponential success, you have to act in ways that might initially feel awkward, risky, or even wrong. The behaviors that brought you to your current level are unlikely to take you any further. In fact, they might be the exact things stopping you from growing. You need to become comfortable with discomfort, question your assumptions, and adopt new attitudes that align with quantum-level performance. It's not about abandoning discipline. It's about embracing new disciplines. 5. Quit trying harder. We've all heard the phrase, just try harder. But trying harder doesn't always yield better results. In fact, it can often lead to burnout and frustration. Pritchett uses the metaphor of a fly repeatedly hitting a window pane, trying desperately to escape, while an open door lies just a few feet away. The fly isn't failing for lack of effort. It's failing because its strategy is wrong. The same goes for us. If you're stuck, the answer isn't always more effort. Sometimes, it's a complete change in direction. This chapter urges you to stop grinding and start thinking. Instead of pushing harder at something that isn't working, look for the smarter, more elegant solution. The open door is there. You just need to stop long enough to notice it. 6. Ignore conventional ways. Conventional methods bring conventional results. If you want to stand out, you must act in ways that others would consider unorthodox. This chapter calls for creative disruption, a willingness to abandon the usual path in favor of one that might seem counterintuitive or even reckless. When your progress stalls, it's natural to revert to what you know best. But Pritchett warns that this habit can trap you in mediocrity. Instead, choose to break your routine. Flip the script. Do something radically different. Challenge the status quo, even if it means doing the opposite of what you've always done. Quantum leaps often come from these strange, surprising decisions. And while they might not make sense at first, they're often the only way to unlock massive progress. 7. Think beyond what common sense would allow. Common sense is rooted in what's been done before. It's built on the assumption that progress should be slow, logical, and safe. But exponential success requires us to dream beyond reason. This chapter challenges you to drop the idea that your goals need to be realistic. Instead, aim for what you truly want, even if it seems outrageous. When you let go of the mental constraints of probability, you give yourself permission to chase possibility. This isn't about being reckless. It's about being bold. True innovation and dramatic change are born from dreaming bigger than your current reality. If you want transformation, you need to step outside the bounds of logic and into the realm of vision. 8. Suspend disbelief. Skepticism is a learned habit. Over time, as we experience failures and disappointments, we build internal resistance to change. This chapter encourages you to temporarily suspend disbelief. Act as if your success is guaranteed. Pretend you have total confidence. Often, our doubts aren't based on truth. They're based on past programming. They're assumptions we've accepted as facts. But just as easily as they were learned, they could be unlearned. You don't have to feel confident to act confident. Take the leap first, the belief will follow. When you move forward in spite of doubt, you teach your mind a new reality. That's the beginning of exponential growth. 9. Focus on ends rather than means. Most people get stuck in the how. They want to see every step laid out before they start. But that mindset kills momentum. Pritchett argues that clarity on the end goal is more powerful than knowing all the steps. Focus your energy on the vision. See your goal in vivid detail. Picture your success as already achieved. When you do this, unseen forces begin to align. Ideas, opportunities, and people start appearing in ways you couldn't predict. The means will show up as you move. Trust that the journey will unfold. Your job is not to have a perfect plan, but to take bold steps toward a compelling destination. The how is revealed in motion. 10. Rely on unseen forces. You don't have to do everything alone. There are invisible forces, intuition, synchronicity, subconscious insights that step in when you begin to act decisively and boldly. These are not mystical concepts. They are real, powerful, and accessible. Pritchett compares these resources to the hidden mass of an iceberg. What you see is only a fraction of what exists. The rest lies below the surface, unseen but significant. When you commit to a bold goal, these unseen forces begin to rally in your favor. Ideas appear out of nowhere. People cross your path at the right time. Inspiration hits unexpectedly, but they only show up after you take action. You can't wait for proof before you move. Movement is what activates the unseen. Like electricity, you don't need to understand every detail of how it works to use it. You just have to flip the switch. 11. Choose a different set of risks. Risk is unavoidable. The idea that you can opt for a risk-free life is an illusion. Whether you go for the leap or stay in your comfort zone, you're taking risks. The difference is in the reward. Pritchett challenges you to stop pretending that playing it safe is actually safe. There is great danger in standing still, boredom, regret, missed potential. So instead of avoiding risk altogether, Choose risks that take you toward your dreams. Leap into growth. Take the gamble that you can become the version of yourself you've always envisioned. Quantum leaps demand that you step away from the familiar and into uncertainty. But this is not recklessness. It's choosing bold action over quiet disappointment. 12. Trust in the power of pursuit. Desire without pursuit is useless. Many people want more out of life. They wish, they dream, they visualize, but they never pursue. Pursuit is the difference between a dreamer and an achiever. It's not enough to want something badly. You have to act as though it's already yours. Pritchett emphasizes that the world responds differently to movement. When you begin to reach for something, forces begin to arrange in your favor. This isn't magic, it's the physics of motion. Motion begets momentum. The very act of pursuit reshapes your environment and your belief system. You move from wishing to becoming. You don't need a perfect strategy. Just start reaching. Just move. 13. Seek failure. Most people are trained to avoid failure. But Pritchett says, seek it. That's where growth lives. When you stretch beyond your limits, you're going to fall sometimes. But falling is not failure. Staying down is. Quantum leaps require risk, and risk involves the potential to fail. But those failures are the price of progress. They're signs that you're testing your boundaries. Think of failure as a teacher, not a threat. If you never feel awkward, uncomfortable, or defeated, it probably means you're not pushing hard enough. Rocket ships go off course most of the time, but still reach the moon. They adjust along the way. So must you. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of the path. 14. Get uncomfortable. Comfort is seductive, but it's also dangerous. Staying comfortable means staying the same. And if you want a quantum leap, you have to embrace discomfort. This doesn't mean suffering. It means expansion. You'll face new challenges, unfamiliar territory, and unexpected emotions. That's good. It means you're evolving. Pritchett reminds us that discomfort is a reliable sign that we're growing. If you feel uneasy, off balance, or nervous, you're in the right zone. Real change always feels like chaos before it becomes clarity. Trust the process. Let discomfort be your compass. If it scares you, excites you, and pushes you, that's the path forward. 15. Open your gifts. You have talents, strengths, and potential that you haven't even tapped into yet. Think of your abilities as unopened gifts, still wrapped, still unused. Why? Because you haven't believed in them. The people we admire as gifted are often those who were simply bold enough to open what they were given. You have gifts, they're just waiting to be claimed. Pritchett urges you to stop hiding your power. Start exploring it. The more you use your gifts, the more they grow. Quantum leaps require you to expand into these capabilities. You're not becoming someone new. You're uncovering who you really are. It's not a transformation. It's a revelation. 16. Fall in love. Quantum leaps don't happen from a lukewarm heart. You need passion, burning, blinding passion. You have to fall in love with your vision. Love it so much that it pulls you through fear, doubt, and fatigue. Passion fuels persistence. It keeps you going when logic tells you to quit. It ignites creativity. It makes you magnetic. This isn't just about motivation. It's about obsession. The kind of focus where your goal becomes non-negotiable, where you wake up thinking about it and fall asleep dreaming about it. When you fall in love with your dream, it begins to love you back. That's the energy that drives quantum growth. 17. Make your move before you're ready. Waiting until you're ready is the ultimate form of procrastination. You'll never feel fully prepared. There will never be a perfect time. So act now. Make the leap before everything feels secure. Pritchett says that preparation is often just a stalling tactic dressed up as productivity. You're already more prepared than you realize. Once you take the first step, clarity follows. Action creates answers. You don't need all the resources or knowledge right away. You just need the courage to start. Readiness is a myth. Movement is real. Make your move before you feel ready, and you'll discover you were ready all along. 18. Look inside for opportunity. The final step in the leap to You² is this. Stop looking outside for the solution. Look within. Everything you need, your desires, your vision, your instincts, your courage, is already inside you. The voice that guides you, that whispers dreams in the dark, that pulls you towards something greater. That's your true compass. Listen to it. The world will try to distract you with noise, but the breakthrough comes from listening to the silence within. Pritchett tells us that the next great opportunity won't come from the economy or luck or someone else. It will come from inside you. You are the door. You are the source. Trust that. Follow it. Leap. You don't need permission to succeed. You don't need more time, more degrees, or more luck. You already have everything you need to make a quantum leap to become You². All that's missing is the decision. So take the leap. Let go of the familiar. Trust the invisible. Act before you're ready. And above all, pursue your dream with everything you've got. The power is already within you. You just have to unleash it. Welcome to You². If this inspired you, don't forget to like, comment your favorite principle, and subscribe for more life-changing book summaries. Until next time, keep leaping.